The Leading Be Legendary podcast is brought to you by the College of Hip Hop, the first and only entertainment education app found in the app stores out of 1 billion apps. It's a one-of-a-kind resource guide with links to all information discussed in lessons. Download the College of Hip Hop app today, which is available across all app platforms for free, to hear an exclusive seminar by No Malice, formerly of the Clips, entitled Lifestyles of an Artist. See, the way I see it, if you're an independent artist, right? Let's say you got the talent, but you don't necessarily understand the business side of things, what type of deal you should probably sign, the best lucrative deal for you. Or you might have family members or friends that's interested in helping you, guide you through your career, but they don't necessarily understand the business side of things. This is definitely the app for you. I say it every time, every day at school. Why not educate yourself and download this app? The College of Hip Hop is a premier learning platform for entertainment education. It's a must-have free app for anyone and everyone who knows somebody looking to learn the business side of the arts and entertainment industries. Very easy to navigate, and it features exclusive interviews from industry heavyweights such as Wendy Day, Master P, music blogs, audio seminars on topics ranging from copyrights, publishing, encoding, marketing, and many more subjects. The College of Hip Hop features a resource guide with helpful links to publishing forms, contracts, and lots of more helpful items. Created by AJ and SJ Jackson, young entrepreneurs that saw a void in the arts and entertainment industry. Their goal is to make arts and entertainment industry simple for everyone interested. Download, rate, review, and share the College of Hip Hop app. If you learn something from the app, suggest it to one of your friends who want to be educated in the entertainment field. Screenshot your rating, review, post it, and tag at the College Hip Hop and at TCOHH app to enter for a chance to win an autographed copy of the book, 10 Steps to Profit from Your Passion. Check. Y'all tuned in to another episode of the Leading Be Legendary podcast. I'm your host, Name Tag, or I can just go by Name Tag Alexander. Follow us on social media at LABL Music on both Twitter and Instagram. Leading Be Legendary on Facebook. Make sure you follow the website, leadingbylegendary.net. By the time y'all hear this episode, I would like to say that the Hello Victory EP instrumental version should be online on streaming platforms, or we can download music, Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, you know where to go. And also the Hello Victory EP itself is out now as well on those same platforms. We're going to jump right into it. Welcome back, DJ DDT.
Yo, what up, though?
That's really? You ain't been on how many episodes and that's all you got?
That's all I got.
I need you to be like James Brown hype.
Well, I don't know about all that.
No,
not a very hyper. Nah, I'm not a very hyper person.
But that's how I said this before. That's how you are through text. It's like, yo, man, such and such happened. Word. Like, damn, it just shut down my excitement. It just cued the excitement. Just like, damn, I thought he was gonna be hype about that. He ain't even hype.
It's my purpose in life, man.
just
I'm a killjoy.
This is a word. Oh wow, I'm so excited.
Yeah, man, I'm a fucking killjoy. That's what I do.
I almost said, well, what in the intro? I don't.
Yeah.
Why. Remember when rappers were saying that though? What was that, like the late 90s, 2000s? Cats were saying.
Yeah, no, there's only a couple rappers though.
No, some singers did it too though. What?
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
It's a new year, man. It's a new year.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Whole year went by fast, quick. I'm thinking like, I don't know, man. I think one thing I want to focus on, and I hate to sound so cliche about this, because I'm
don't say
sure,
new year, new me.
No, not at all. I hate that. I actually feel like I'm following people on social media that say new year, new me. Are people still saying that? That's terrible.
I hope not.
Gosh, that shit is annoying. New year, new me. Nah, you the same you from last year.
Right.
But no, I kind of want to focus on consistency. I noticed one thing, like, although I accomplished a lot this year, I think one thing is being consistent. That's important to me, as I noticed it with other I don't even want to say this word, brands, I should say, or just whether it come to brands, artists, whatever. Consistency is important.
Right.
I even think about like just what I did in the past as far as an artist going from, and that's just a part of being a creator, and you know, your mind changes. So I thought about, okay, at one point I was name tag. At one point it was Tag Alexander. I feel like sometimes I should have stuck with that. I felt kind of good with that, but then I was like, nah, they know you as far as being consistent as name tag, so just combine them both, which is cool. Now I'm good with name tag Alexander. That's tight because you can still go with name tag. But anyway, just consistency. Even with the podcast, like I was telling you before, going with calling it the label podcast, just LABL, but then it's like, nah, then people won't really get it, so just go with Lead and Be Legendary. Even though that was within a short period of time, I still feel like it was changing it up as it was going on, so it wasn't as consistent. Even with music, just in life, period, just being consistent. Like, I don't know if you view it the same, but that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I mean, all the consistency. One thing that's weird about me is I'm not big on labels and names. It can
What
be
you
one
mean?
thing or the other.
What you mean?
I
Yeah,
don't.
you
I
say
don't.
that a lot with projects too.
Yeah, I really don't care. It can, you know. I think the work will. I'm one of those. The work will speak for itself type dudes. That's
I
me.
guess that can like apply. I had to take a sip of my tea. I don't know if you can hear me out stirring like the tea, almost on like some get out shit, but yeah, I had to have some tea, man.
Goofy. Nah, but
Cause I
yeah,
like tea. What? You goofy.
nah,
Like
because you goofy because you instantly thought about
oh,
get
get
out.
out. Yeah, sink to the floor. I was about to say you don't like nothing. You ain't excited about nothing. You don't like tea. Who don't like tea?
Shit, I love
Probably a
tea.
lot of people. Probably a lot of people don't know how to think about it. Tea. You drink. You old. It's funny because I've been drinking tea since I was a kid.
Yeah, and all the people say you old, they'll be drinking it in a minute.
Yeah, when they get older, I was sneaking and drinking it when I was a kid. Asking my mom, "Okay, you can have it, but don't put that much sugar in it." All right. And then I got older. Oh, you ain't really supposed to put sugar in this shit, but especially green tea, like that's like the best for you. But anyway, consistency, man, it's so important. For instance, you, DJ DDT, that's your brand. Like people know you as that. Is I mean, I see you throw it in there. Obviously, it's Facebook, probably what Desmond, DJ DDT, Travis, but and it's in your a lot of your cover art that you put out there when you promoting yourself as a DJ, but it still stands. The DJ DDT is what pops. You get what I'm saying? That's
Right,
consider like if you just change your name up to just like flat out Travis, it'll just throw people off. Like what? Like yeah, I'm
right.
Travis now, and that's it.
And
So you kind of
I did end up changing my name. I was just DJ DDT, but when I found out it was the DJ DDTs around the world, and it's
yeah.
probably even more. But when I found that out, I was like, okay, I got to do something different.
The
And it's
main
crazy.
guy was that techno DJ, right?
Yeah, I think he's like Argentinian or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's funny because even Proof back in the day was helping me come up with different names. When we found out that there was a I don't know if they were German or Russian. I think there was a Russian rock group called DDT.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
yeah, when I was D12's DJ, uh, Proof was Proof had come up with the name Many Topics. I just didn't use it. But
Many wait, it would
and it
have
was
been many topics.
yeah, and it was because I was, I'm versatile. I'm a DJ
Okay.
producer. Back then I was rapping. Um,
Ah,
so I was able to do various things, and he and I came up with many topics, but I just never used it.
you probably
Went
should have
back to
stuck with it.
DDT. What, many topics?
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
You
it
don't
was
like it? You
corny.
ain't fucking with it? I'm many
Nah,
topics.
it was corny. I can
But
admit that.
why they call you many topics? Because I talk about a lot. I do a lot.
Right.
I do a lot of things.
There are many topics that concern me.
You know how much I can talk
All about
about?
me.
You know how much I'm able to talk about? Like
Right.
what?
Do you know how many topics I can talk about?
Girl, he could talk about a lot.
Right.
Nah, man.
Yeah,
Even with
corny.
podcasting though, that's something that I really want to be consistent about this year. Period.
Yeah.
Of course, music, obviously, but podcasting. Like I'm not gonna say I slacked as far as this previous year, but I was just looking back on episodes and when I released them, and I was like, man, I could have just been way more consistent with that. And even thinking about, I said I could have been way more consistent with it, with how I released a lot of the with the episodes. And even thinking about what you said, you was like, in many cases, you more than likely have 30 to 45 minutes of time to kill. You know what I'm saying? Not, and I don't want to say kill like, oh, we just ain't got shit to do, but you got 30 to 45 minutes to shoot the shit with people that's in the same field that you're in, pretty much. That's a conversation right there. That's an episode in itself. And we do it all the time. Like I said, I tell Dean, damn, we have a conversation like, shit, this could have been a podcast episode. We had one earlier. We like, this could have been an episode. And we've been talked about everything like, shit, now I got to rehash this or just kind of revisit it, hope it be as organic as it was, which typically it is because we basically just be picking up off of where we, left off at as far as, discussions we may have had earlier in the day. But still, just like I say, just being consistent, man. Just, I really want to have like great episodes this year. Like I got in mind like who all I want to be on the show. I was even thinking like, I was listening back to episodes like, man, I feel like I'm better at having the guest-based episodes, not just me just talking or rant. I might do rants here and there because it'd be shit on my mind. But then once I realized I'm just kind of talking at the mic and it's just me, it's like, yeah, I don't want to do this. So, I don't know. Just something I'm thinking about. So, yeah, man. How do you feel about musically this previous year? Like, where do you, hip hop, I should say. Where do you stand as far as like hip hop as a whole on music that came out?
I'm kind of in an indifferent place with 2017 music. I'm more indifferent than I am in a loving it place.
What you mean?
What, indifferent?
Yeah, just like as far as like you not.
Yeah, just what it means.
Or
just don't give a shit about it.
Yep.
That's what it, that's if you talk about the direct meaning of indifferent, I just didn't give a shit about most of the music.
Is it because like it just wasn't good, or just as far as like, man, there's just so much that came out, it was like, how was I really supposed to digest this material?
No, not even that. It's just the stuff that I did here, most of it wasn't for me, and just made me
can see that
about it.
I can see that. Well, at least you're not complaining about it, though. Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Because I can't say it was whack. I can't say,
right.
It was, people not doing this or not doing that. It just wasn't for me.
Because I feel like with all of the good hip hop that did come out, it was just still, I saw too many people still saying, oh man, all this, they go after the mumble rap. This mumble rap bullshit. And it's like, yo, it's a lot of dope shit that came out.
I'm not about to call anything mumble rap.
And it goes back to just saying like, hey, speak on the shit that's dope. Just talk about the shit that's dope a lot. Like it'd be very brief that they do it. Like you may see it once or twice. Oh yeah, so-and-so had a fire album. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean, I can say it wasn't enough of that.
You said it wasn't, or it was?
Right. It wasn't enough dope stuff. But at the same time, we can probably say that about every year, even our favorite years.
Shit, I was gonna say a lot of dope shit came out this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of dope shit. But we're greedy. We're greedy, when it comes to dope shit.
I can agree with that. It's almost like we want a balance, but we really don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't know.
I wouldn't mind the balance. I wouldn't mind a better balance.
And I ain't saying just us, but I'm saying just in general.
Right. The balance is there. Like the music is present. The balance is not in marketing, promotion.
Exactly.
Other things.
Exactly. I even was watching I was telling you about the Ill Al Scratch, the
my homie
first album. Yeah, I was watching that video randomly. I just was like, man, I always like this song. I'm just check out the video. Yeah. And I'm watching the video and I said, man, it's a group of people, and this not shitting on that song because I love the song, I love the video. I was like, it's probably a group of people who would be okay if this type of music continued to be released all year from hip hop, period. But it'll leave no balance, right? So,
No, I think it would leave balance because everything else that is here would still be here.
well, yeah, it is. But I'm saying, like, the point I was making was you got people that we know there needs to be balance, right? For you to recognize the dope shit. Because if it's so much of the same type of shit that's coming out, people are gonna complain, eventually get tired of it. Like, oh man, all this shit sound the same. But then I think there may be a group of people that's just okay with that. No, I'm cool with, I guess for lack of better, I'm cool with boom bap. Just only boom bap, strictly boom bap, all of it sounding the same. I'm okay with that. Me personally, pardon me, I prefer a balance of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in the morning, when I want to wake up in the morning, I'm probably, if I cut the radio on, which is rare, I'm probably cutting it on and I'm listening to a track that's more appealing to the masses.
Right.
You know what I'm
And see,
saying?
we're basically saying the same thing, but in different aspects. Like the balance that I want to see, current hip hop, yeah, is here, is what's gonna be here, and that's cool, and that is for people who like it. When it comes to
Yeah.
boom bap, boom bap is for people who like boom bap. My thing with balance is, why not promote and market and shine light on boom bap just as much as
Exactly.
the other type of hip hop, other
Exactly.
type of hip hop.
But here's what happens. I think, like you say, there's a lack of marketing there. I think this is what happens. Let's say the marketing is boosted to that type of music. Let's say is geared toward boom bap. Now it's like, oh man, that shit is watered down now. It's mainstream. Now people ain't fucking with it as much. That
Yeah,
always happens. It's like, well, do you want it to get its shine, or do you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I
And you,
personally feel like, yeah, if you like the dope shit, promote it, keep pushing it, keep talking about it. But then they get it there, and then it's like, oh man, not everybody like it. Oh, here y'all go. Y'all wasn't knowing this back in the day though.
yeah,
Prime example,
people like to complain.
the whole Black Thought shit, right? Like,
Yeah,
I saw that, like I witnessed that, we saw it firsthand. Like, yeah, he been spitting like that.
right,
And I wasn't gonna jump out the window or jump online and say, "Oh, here y'all go." I'm happy that it was getting the looks that it was getting. Like, you just sent me the link to the GIF mixtape that they put together or whatever. I'm like, see, this proves right here. These are all either within 1 year or just over the course of times that he just been bodying shit since
right,
forever. So it doesn't shock me when he do stuff like that. Is it amazing? Yes. It don't shock me though when he do stuff like that. But it was just crazy seeing people that was going crazy. Like, oh my God, this shit is so dope. Some people probably didn't even know who Black Thought was. They find out who he is. Oh, that's my man's that's in the band, or that's my man's that was on that one show. But then
right.
you got the people that's been rocking with Black Thought for years and that know he dope. Now y'all want to say Black Thought dope. See, y'all kill me. It's like, wait a minute, do y'all want him to be praised? You know what I'm saying?
You're only gonna hear that from people who like to complain, like to have a problem, like to have an issue, like to argue, like to
Mm-hmm.
complain.
That's
That's
stressful.
that's what you're gonna hear. Yeah, it's very stressful. You know, I bet you their boo boo stinks worse than anybody else because they like to put a lot of stress on their body. But
That can
that
make your shit stink worse?
I don't know. I'm talking
Oh,
shit.
I thought you were
But
saying some serious shit. Like, wow, I didn't know that. I really believed you. Like, damn, I never thought about that. Like, the more stressed you are, your shit gonna smell worse.
they gotta be doing something to their body. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's just them. That's just that type of person. I know people like that. They just like to sit and complain about
complain about it. Ah, here y'all niggas go liking that real hip hop. Ain't that
right.
what you wanted? I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
man.
I'm telling you, I ran in that circle in the '90s, and when it was underground, it was all fuck the radio, fuck all of that
Yeah.
mainstream. Then the jiggy era come around, fuck all that jiggy shit. We sticking to the underground. Underground music started getting some shine, and they like, oh fuck that, that shit went pop.
Remember this happened. I don't know if you recall it per se, but I saw it happen with Drake. Honestly. I say this because he's of the bigger artist, but I might have mentioned this on an episode before, but it was just crazy seeing like how
he was being champion and like everybody was rooting. Oh, he can spit. That boy got bars. Oh snap, he's on the track with. Oh
You know
shit,
what
you
I
see he
saw
on the joint with
when Drake
Elzai. He
came
on there with
around?
Fonte.
When Drake came around, I didn't see that group of people. I saw the group of people that didn't take him serious
Mm-hmm.
because he was a child actor, and they're like, "Oh, this motherfucker trying to rap now. He, stick to acting.
Oh, that goes to
Leave
another
rap
topic.
to rappers."
That
And
transitions to another topic because that's
when he blew up, it was another excuse. It was like, "Oh, he just blew up because of
because
this,
he was
that,
an
this."
actor already. Yeah, exactly. That shit's whack to me because I feel like I'll give an example of an artist that's from our within the network of like Detroit artists or just Michigan artists in general, Rose Spit. To me, that's dope. That man is part owner of Burn Rubber. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a person that's an entity in itself. That right there. And then at the same time, he can spit and got to me, I respect his career as a rap artist as well, right? You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like I don't know if people had because see, I remember him rapping first though. I didn't find out about. It was crazy is I remember him as Octane, of course, and then he became Real
Right.
Spit. I didn't find out about it's weird because when he became Real Spit, shout out to Real Spit by the way, him and 14KT as Rose Gold got a dope project out. I fucks with it.
Right.
Self-titled, I believe, Rose Gold. But it was like I looked at that, like I admired that because it's like, man, that gotta take a lot to be like, yo, I'm gonna run this shop, but at the same time, I'm gonna do this over here. You gotta be real passionate about music to have this going here with this entity in itself, which is Burn Rubber, and then be like, you know what, I'm still gonna spit too and be good at it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like now I look at the people though, like obviously he has a following, obviously. So I started looking at myself in regards to that, like, man, once I started doing podcasting, right? And I started asking myself, like, well, in this time and area, obviously. And I felt at one point when I first started doing this, and I felt it as a recent too, am I alienating my I don't want to say brand. I guess I gotta say brand. The whole name tag, I felt like I was alienating that because it's like, okay, you pretty much got something that you're trying to move with podcasting now. Let's not really take you as serious as a rapper, or vice versa. You rap, but because we fuck with you on the rap tip, I ain't gonna fuck with you in podcasting like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the case? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think even with you, like you people know you as a DJ, but at the same time, a lot of people don't really recognize that. Yo, you can shoot a video, you can edit a video, you know how to you do photography. You see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you mix, you engineer, and it's almost like people just gauging into one thing. Like, oh, no, I know him as doing this, and it's like I feel like the credit don't be as equal. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Like when you do multiple things, like it's almost like you can do
Yeah.
this, but you can't do that.
Right. That's one thing I learned. People are gonna always try to box you in or label you for their own comfort. Um, and that's why, like when you are in the entertainment business, you're gonna always have people asking, "Well, what do you do?" Or if you're a singer, what exactly is your genre? What exactly do you do? People want to pinpoint everything,
Yeah,
and that's not cool to a creative. When you are a creative, you don't want to be labeled. You just want to create.
exactly. I think
And that's why I look at myself. I look at myself as a creative. I look at myself as multifaceted, and a lot of people don't know how to take that
I think
or
that's
don't.
a good way to I think that's the thing to do now. Like whether you got some people that might just want to rap and that be it. You got some people that just might want to sing, that be it, not really want to do nothing else. That's cool. But I'm noticing like different things that I want to do and things that I've been doing. But obviously rap was always at the forefront, which pretty much still is. But I see other things that I'm able to do and move about with, right? So I think
Right,
maybe it's just good just to be like, hey, well, what do you do? Like you said, I'm a creative or I'm a creator, multifaceted, for example. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do this. I know how to do that. Hey, I might shine more here, but I also know how to do these other things. You see what
right,
I'm saying? Like, I think another thing is too, like for podcasting is a perfect example. I was telling you before, I said I think it would be dope for more artists to do podcasts, right?
Right.
Because what better way? Like you're in the field. Nori said it himself. He's like, Drink Champs is perfect because he's been in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like the athlete that's been in the locker room, so he can commentate on things. He can give it to you from his perspective. Even with Joe Budden, it's like people give him shit to this. Like, oh man, they'd take his opinion as far as him, even though he be real. Obviously, I don't want to say harsh about it, but he had this rash opinion to where people may take it as, oh, now that nigga's just hating. And it's like, technically,
Right.
if that was somebody else just giving the opinion.
Man, here's what it is. Here's what it is about the whole Joe Budden thing.
Hold on. This is what I was gonna say. It's like when he say something like that, the first thing people come back with is that, oh, you an old nigga that's washed. And they be like, huh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they think you're hating. And I could say that would be with anybody. I don't even think it would just be him. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's take another rapper and replace Joe Budden with another rapper, whatever. That might have the same type of career, whatever, but he's just not as direct and blunt with how Joe Budden is. This is gonna be the same thing. Oh, nigga, you only had a couple joints or whatever. You da. Oh, you a hater because I'm a former rapper that's giving my opinion on music, some shit that I'm experienced in. You want me to rap forever? Right. You want me to do this until I'm dead? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me.
But yeah, fans are never pleased, and haters never pleased either. Mm-hmm. And then when, like I was saying with Budden, and how everybody looks at him, and I'm probably going to get flack for saying this, but this generation is very naive, very gullible,
sensitive.
Extra sensitive. So when Budden has that, that very passionate voice and jumping and screaming and shit, they don't know how to take that. Because they don't know how to emote in that direction, or they don't know how to take somebody who is showing their emotion in that way.
You know what the difference is?
He's very passionate about it.
You know who else evoked passion like that back in the day? It's just the internet wasn't. I mean, he does it now, obviously, but it's a little more lax. But the internet wasn't really a booming thing like that from back Damon Dash. Think about how he was reacting on backstage where he was going off on my mans about the Def Jam jackets, right?
Right.
Joe Budden does that now. Niggas going off. Oh my God, like, man, look at him. He being a hater. How he hating on Def Jam or some shit like that. Right. I would have said it about Dame. Oh, look at him being a hater. Like, no, that man is saying, like, we put the money behind this tour. We want the Rockefeller jackets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The thing with Dame, and the thing, actually, it pertains to Budden also. It's not politically correct to be that way. And that's why Dame was basically eased out the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't a big to-do when all of that fell apart.
Right.
It was because it wasn't a politically correct thing to go in there and yell in the office. And that's how they took it.
Could we potentially bring race into the picture? Because technically, wasn't Lior?
Well, that's a part of it.
Wasn't Lior kind of like this as well?
Lior was like that, but I don't. We didn't hear stories of Lior, going off in that way. Or if we did hear the stories, it wasn't put to us in that way where Lior was going off. And then the other thing is, it was on video when Dame did it.
That's true too.
So we saw it.
That's true.
There are millions of office meetings where, label execs are going off and flipping, throwing shit out the window and, desks flying and shit like that. I've heard stories of that. Dame is who he is, and that was caught on video or on film, whatever that was.
Right.
That makes it different.
That's true. That makes sense. I don't know, man. Times is just different now. You can't have an opinion on something and saying it's good, especially if it's like speaking toward another artist. They look at you like you dick riding, or you on the, you
You can
on your
have an opinion.
job.
Everybody just needs to pull out their big girl panties and suck it up. For real. That's what needs to happen. You know, reality needs to beat people in the head.
Yeah, yeah,
We need to force things to change. And I ain't saying change it back to the way it was, but people need to understand where we are and what we're doing, why it's being done.
yeah, man. I definitely agree. What was I going to say? This what I meant to speak toward this about. As far as it was consistency, I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay. I heard this on another podcast, but it had me thinking going forward. Like, is this a thing? As far as like, so you're older than me, so I don't. But actually, this could apply because it still is generations before us. I was wondering. I'll give you an example. I had a conversation with my one of my brothers or whatever, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, if you what?"
You said, hey.
What? Yeah, I did. Because it was verbally when I was talking to him. It wasn't through text, and I just was like, "Hey, comma, what do you know?" This was like I was just telling like, "Hey, what do you?" I probably said, "Hey." I don't. What do it matter? I asked him a question like, "Did you say hey or did you say hey?" But no, I had this conversation with one of my other brothers or whatever, and we not Beethoven, my other brother Zoe, and we never really got off into the conversation as heavy as I wanted to, but I noticed that me and Beethoven, we do the music part of our, as a family, we're those guys. Like, okay, we're making the music, whatever. But my brother Zoe, like, I know him to have a job, he clocks in or whatever. Obviously, if that's what he wants to do, then fine. But I know his skill sets, you know what I'm saying? And I know things that he could shine in, right? So I asked
Right.
him, and I hate that I'm gonna speak back to him about it, but I asked him like, well, with me and Beethoven having the music side of things, what is it that you're passionate about? I never asked him this ever in life. Now, granted, I do remember maybe back in the early 90s where they did have a rap group and, everybody in high school. I do recall that. But looking back at it now, I'm like, well, dang, was he, maybe he was passionate about the music, but I look at it now, like I do remember him saying specifically, and I don't want to get away from the question, but I do remember him specifically saying like, yo, I wanted to go to school to be an accountant, if anything. I do remember him saying that. But I did ask him, I said, well, what is it that I don't know if that's what he was passionate about. I thought maybe that's just like, okay, I want to go here. They make good money. Let me go here. You're good at math, whatever. So I asked him, like, well, what is it that you're passionate about? What do you feel like you're really good at that you could just shine in that's not you specifically punching in, punching out? Right. Now, he made good money. I'm not taking that away from him. But I was curious about that because I was looking at my family and who passionate about what, who trying to build this, with this entrepreneurial spirit. I'm saying spirit. Listen to me. He said, well, I always felt like I would be a good car salesman. I said, oh, damn. Now, what's crazy about that is every time he would talk about new cars or whatever that would come through at the plant or something at the time, he can break it down and just explain to her. He can see a car, you can get a new car and be like, oh yeah, those seats, see, we made them, we used to make them and such, and the difference between, he could tell you, like, break it down, the difference between those and the seats here, like, flat out, so I can imagine him really being a car salesman. We didn't really get off into the conversation he had to go. I'm going to bring it back up. Because I'm on this thing now where it's like, man, I want to see people shine at what they good at, period.
Right.
I don't think it's one person. I can't name one person that I know that's like, yo, I'm good with just, working at my job and that's it. Maybe. I haven't really asked around, but I don't think.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so I'm curious to just start asking people. I would even want to, God bless the dead.
Take into consideration, and not to say your brother did it, but there are a lot of people, or most people, who will accept that paycheck over their passions.
Yeah. See, we in a time more than ever where you can be creative and flourish, doing that while working a regular
Yeah,
job. Or if you just decide, hey, let me just I'm doing so great here, I don't need the job now. You see what I'm saying? I
right. But some people don't want to be overwhelmed.
yeah,
Some people
that's
don't
true.
want, you know what I mean? Some people don't want the responsibility of trying to balance the two.
That's true. That's true. I thought about it because I know with my, God bless the dead, my mother um wanted to have a career as a singer. This is crazy because when we was at her funeral, this was like '09. I didn't know she had a scholarship to go to college off of, music. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Reason that the reason that she didn't fulfill that is because one, she got pregnant while in high school. Two, she got pregnant again after coming out of high school. And I was thinking about, I said, well, damn, I'm looking at today's time, and it's a lot of women I've seen get pregnant and have kids, and what I'm saying, they still end up having some booming careers. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought about that. I was like, well, shit. And I remember at the time I said, well, I know my dad was working, he was at the plant. I said, but times were so different then. Were people so driven on their passion where they were like, you know what? I got a kid and now ain't nothing I can do. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? Like it's different now. I started fast. So I said, well, what if that was her now? Shit, she'd probably have a music career. Times were different back then. I talked to my pop. Man, when I say it's so few and far in between, I talk to my pops because he switched numbers like a drug dealer. When I
Hmm.
talked to him, I had a deep conversation with him, and we were talking about that. Now he tried to sell me on this story about, yeah, I see. The thing was, I was gonna be your mother's manager. I could see that. I could see him also fucking that up too. He was like, "Yeah, I was gonna be your manager." No, this is, you'd have to know my pops to understand why. Oh, you'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, he probably would have fucked that up." But he was like, "Yeah, I was supposed to be her manager, and she got pregnant with your brother. This is Beethoven, obviously, and she's like, hey, you got pregnant with your older brother, and she had a full scholarship to go to college, and it was off music, and I don't know if the rest of it was based off good grades or not. I don't know, but it was bottom line, it was a scholarship. I could be
Hmm.
over exaggerating by saying full, but it was a scholarship that she had to go to school for music, whatever. And like I said, I did not know this until they mentioned this at a funeral. I'm like, she never brought this up. She just would say, I wanted to be a singer, make a career out of that. They had vinyl and everything. Her and my auntie and a couple of their cousins, they had a vinyl record. I want to say it was like a 45. They were in a group called shit. I want to say the Angelettes or something. It was gospel. But anyway, um, that just blew my mind. I'm like, wow. He was like, yeah, I got the car. We was gonna drive around, and I was supposed to go to Canada. My dad was telling me the story about how he was supposed to go to Canada, and they was supposed to shop her around and try to get her a deal. But like as he said, like she got pregnant, and that was that. This is after she had my first brother or whatever, and it just was like, damn, and I'm just like, that's it. Like this is obviously back in the '70s, but I'm like, and that was it. It just was like, all right, well, kid, no, I can't. I started thinking like, yo, back in the day, were people in that time like parents were they? Because you was born in the '70s. It's like, were people back in that time as passionate as people are now? You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? They were.
Yes.
What was missing
People.
though?
People. Well.
I think I just asked a stupid question. I really did. Clearly, internet, uh, stronger networks, all that shit, probably. But everything, cell
Yeah.
phones,
But I mean,
technology.
looking at the human side, um, there was a lot that black people didn't know that they were capable
Right.
of doing.
Correct.
Of course, there were a few that did know, the brave ones that just went out there and did what they wanted to do. But for the most part, you know, we didn't believe in ourselves. There wasn't a lot of us, doing what we really wanted to do.
So you can see as an example, like, well, so and so doing it. Like now we got shit. You cut on Instagram and see videos of people motivating you telling you what
Right.
you can do, and half of them niggas probably ain't doing it themselves. But for the most part, a lot of them are. You got everything on YouTube now. It's just so much you can see where you're motivated. You're right. They just probably didn't have that or those visuals on those platforms to just see like I could do it too. It probably just like, damn, shit, I'm pregnant. I can't even do nothing now.
Right.
And you get so lost in that, and then raising a family, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but it just make you think like, man, there's probably a lot of people who just had this passion, and man, you know what it made me think about? Joe Jackson. I hate to use him as an example, but thinking about the American Dream movie, him working at the plant, just what was it, the steel mill, just being dirty, coming home, water.
Well, you know that wasn't just a movie. That
Obviously it was real life, but I'm just saying like, but except he took his kids and was like, he made them passionate, like, oh, y'all gonna do this. But I think it was dope because he's like, yo, I don't want y'all to, do what I had to do. Basically, y'all not about to do this.
Right.
Can people say?
And he was a former musician who had to give up. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I use him as an example, because it's like he had to give it up, like, and let me spawn. Obviously, it was probably in the bloodline more obviously, but it's just that he had to make that sacrifice.
Right.
Let's fast forward to today, because that's 5 kids we talking about. Would he have had to make that whole sacrifice? You get what I'm saying?
That was like 8.
You said what?
I said it was like 8 kids, wasn't it? Like 8 or 9. It's a bunch.
Yeah. More, yeah, Devin. I'm just thinking about I said 5 because just as Jackson 5, but obviously he had more.
Right, when he started off.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Because now maybe it wouldn't have been that same sacrifice. Maybe now he had a lot of kids. It would have been that sacrifice. It would have been like, yo, shit is done. It's a wrap. You have no career, sir. This is your career. You got to make sure they get on.
Right.
That's crazy, man. It's just like that was the only thing holding people back. Just the resources. That motivation wasn't there. Man. That's deep. So now it make you go back and think like people always say, oh, if I could live back then, I would have lived then. No, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have. Yeah. I'm good. No, thank you.
There would be, if we were, put it like this, if we didn't have the internet, there would be no tutorials, like, just freely, at your fingertips. A lot of people would have to go somewhere to learn how to play instruments.
Yeah.
In order to do, even if we had the technology that we have without the internet, you still would have to go somewhere and learn how to use it.
You can learn how to make a beat just going on YouTube.
Yeah, you can go learn how to make a beat on YouTube. And even with sampling, there are sample kits. There are sample packs where you don't have to, what we used to do, dig in the crates. You don't have to go out and crate dig. You know what I mean? There are sample packs.
Shit, like you want that type of, you want that Dilla fire, you digging in them crates.
No. There are people literally right now who can just get anything out of sample packs and make something. I can't say as dope as Dilla, but they could try.
It was different.
And get close. It was different because Dilla started it, or Dilla was at the forefront of it. So like his drum packs and all of that stuff, that's still floating around.
That's true.
His kits, his sample packs, that's still floating around. Excuse me. People are able to just grab from those and not do the work.
That's crazy.
Actually got myself on, going and digging and researching and remembering old songs and finding new old songs that I'd never listened to back in the day. Seeing, there was a method to how to dig, and I learned it from Proof. And I still use that method today.
And just as far as
I got myself on the way I sample.
I even and I gotta give it up to like the producers that do that, because I remember going record shopping one time. I went one time with Black, and man, that was the most boring shit ever.
He probably got the philosophy down. I'm pretty sure he does because he was, he was around Dilla.
It was the most boring shit ever. I was like, man, I don't see. But then just hearing his music and certain samples he used, I'm like, damn, I can appreciate it. It was boring to me at first, but then when I listen to shit now, I'll be like, damn, I can appreciate that because that's a process. Like he would go and they would be going for like hours at a time. All right, I'm going record shopping. I'm like, that's a job. Like shit, like that's a job. Niggas be going for like 5 hours or more. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
But here I am. I can say the same because I would do that with rappers. The ones who could really spit, I would study. You know what I'm saying? Like you find yourself like just sitting there, not even planning like, oh, let me sit down and really sit here for this many hours and study this. Like getting albums and just like studying those patterns. Like, damn, I remember like being in 8th grade, studying the Marshall Mathers LP. You know, I had it on tape cassette, but studying that, like, damn, how's he? You know what I'm saying? And then it just breaking that shit down, like, wow, man, that shit is amazing. How do we take this word? How you rhyme that word that didn't even rhyme? You see what I'm saying? Just trying to figure that out.
Do you realize why people gave him they give him credit for spawning a lot of the rappers we hear today? Do you know why?
I would say
one of the reasons why.
I would say because a lot of rappers today have a way of rhyming words that don't rhyme. I think he was at the forefront of that.
Of course, that's part of it. Yeah, he was at the forefront of that. But another thing that rappers of today did when they were kids or when they were younger, and I did it when I was younger. They read the lyrics.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
When you bought Eminem's Infinite on cassette, the lyrics were in there, so you can read along.
Yeah, because they were on. I don't remember if they were on the Slim Shady LP.
I don't remember either.
I don't even remember with the Marshall Mathers LP. That's why I know I had to study it.
You say what?
I know that's why I had to study Marshall Mathers LP because I don't remember the lyrics being in the liner notes.
Yeah.
Now what I do remember till this day, not to cut you, to this day, I remember I don't remember every lyric from it was written, but I do remember the lyrics inside of that case. I remember going to the store, buying that with my mama's money. I want this album. Let me get that. It's a parental advisory sticker on there. Yeah. Mine's Nas, though. He made this song with Lauryn Hill. Oh, I like that song. And you buy it. That's how you convince them to single, and then, you buy it or whatever. Oh, okay. Looking at the lyrics, like, man, I read the lyrics that I gave you power shit. I was like, what? How old was that? What was that, like 96?
I was 96. You were 10.
Man. Nigga, I'm 10. Reading I gave you power lyrics. Ain't no 10-year-old reading lyrics. Well, they might be. I don't know. Depending on what streaming service. No, it depends on if they go to Genius or whatever. No, ain't no 10-year-old reading no. Well, they might be reading Kendrick lyrics. Somewhere. There's a 10-year-old somewhere that's on Genius, like going over those Kendrick lyrics. Gotta be. Kendrick. Yeah. Shit, probably even like a Joyner Lucas, like anybody that's spitting somewhere is somebody studying those lyrics. Cause I'm thinking like if I was doing it then, somebody doing it now.
Yeah.
I remember like reading it just the part where always I'm in some shit. The some black barrel's my 9, the barrel's my something uncircumcised. I'm like, oh my God, like you talking about a gun. Like that shit was amazing, man. Like that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 10.
Ridiculous.
Told my age, but whatever. Damn. I can tell my age when I'm recording with you. It's like, well, you got DDT on there, you older than him, so shit. Man.
Whatever. Hey, look, I ain't I'm not ashamed of my age.
Hey, own it, man. You experienced a lot, man. You experienced like some great eras in hip hop though. So like you got to witness that golden era back in the 80s. What year was that? 88?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to witness that. And again when it happened in the 90s.
I got to witness 84 and 85.
Yeah. But just 88
See, it's not significant to you.
Cause I'm thinking of the artist then. See, but no, I envy that though.
See,
Like,
84 was the second hip hop movie, which was Beat Street. Actually, Beat Street and Break It. That was the second and third hip hop movies.
That's on demand right now. I thought about I was gonna watch. I seen Beat Street already. I was gonna watch. I think it was Breaking. Yeah, I was gonna watch Breaking.
Now I have to forewarn you. It's very, very corny.
No, I seen it before. I just want to watch it again.
Yeah, but it was a great corny. We loved it. It was the 80s.
Because when I saw Crush Groove late, I didn't see Crush Groove until I was a junior or senior in high school. I saw Crush Groove. I remember I saw, like, oh shit, Crush Groove coming on. I recorded it on tape.
I mean, but that's cool. You weren't even born when it came out, so you seeing it, in high school is that's cool because your peers wouldn't be talking about Crush.
That's what I'm saying. I think I just found it important to be a student, so I just saw it and was like, well, what's this that everybody talking? People always say you need to see Crush Groove, and I saw it. I thought it was dope. I can watch that every time it come on. Like, oh shit, Crush Groove on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Shit, I would actually recommend Breaking before Crush Groove.
What?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was 84. It was more significant for me. Crush Groove is up there.
When
it was 86.
Okay, that's crazy. That's when I was born. Like, I was about to say, when the Crush Groove come out.
I mean, just like when I was a kid, everybody talked about Dolomite and Superfly.
Word.
Those movies were made before I was born.
The Crush Groove just had them significant scenes, like the box, just coming in like, man, who is this, man? They pull out the gun, like, get out. He just put on radio, believe me, I like it. Like, who just does that? Let me just throw the box down and start spitting.
Yeah, but back then it was ill. It's ill today, but it's because I can see it from that era.
Word.
Most kids now, or most younger people now, I'm speaking people in their late teens, early 20s, they wouldn't look at it the same.
Right. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, we got Beat Street, we got Breaking, we got Crush Groove. I put Crush Groove up there because of the type of movie that it was. And then I would even go as far as to say, now my generation was coming up on Backstage. We weren't supposed to, though, I don't think, because that came out when I was in, like, middle school, probably just going into middle school. Backstage, before Backstage, the show, Rhyme and Reason. Man, shit like that. And it was funny is now you got the Art of Rap, that came out, too. Was that in the theaters?
Yeah, that wasn't in theaters.
Art of Rap might have been, like, the last one of its kind that came out. But it wasn't in theaters, though, so I can count it, but it just wasn't in theaters. I guess you could say, like, the kids now, they could probably go, Straight Outta Compton, but I'm talking about, like, a documentary style, like the show, Backstage, Rhyme and Reason. Yeah. Like I say, Art of Rap. They need something like that for today.
Yeah.
And it's not even a slight to the more mainstream niggas that's rapping. But no, we can't have them. We can, but just I think it needs to focus more so on, like, I don't want to be that guy, but the MCs. Because that's what those movies focused on. They focused on the MCs, the show. The show was focused on at the time. Man, they had Wu-Tang, they had Big, they had did Pac have a scene in there? He had a joint on there, but it wasn't like a scene. I think Dre was in it. Shit. And the crazy thing is, I don't even think you can find a show soundtrack. I was on Spotify looking for it and could not find it. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I don't know if Russell and all of them pulled it, but that was when Russell had just sold Def Jam to Sony.
Damn. Well, Sony need to put that out.
They left Sony and sold it to Universal.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because I could not find it. I was like, man, that had some joints on there. But yeah, they had cats on there, Rhyme and Reason. I remember that because of the Far Side. And because I remember it was freestyle. And I was like, man, they can't freestyle that good. What else? Like I said, you got the Art of Rap. They need something like that. Watch Because I Said
What year was the show?
The show was 95 probably. Yeah, because that was like right before the Pac and Biggie beef jumped off. Yep. We need a movie like that. Why ain't it one? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That gotta happen. I don't know who would make it happen, but that need to happen. Like and I'm saying it as far as like the MCs though, like the niggas like okay, yeah, they spit, like do it from that perspective. And sprinkle just like a few of the mainstream niggas in there that's like big and making, making some noise, but more so focused on like the MCs is doing it. That'd be ill. Or even if you could just put it on Netflix or whatever. I don't know.
Now here's what's crazy when it comes to hip hop and MCs being in the front. It wasn't always like that. Back in the day, hip hop was actually, I don't want to say run by, but it was basically run by DJs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And somewhere in there, well, I can tell you, not the exact time when, but the instance or the situation when record labels came into play. It was like
the
DJs had the relationships, and they brought the talent, they brought the vocal talent with them. But the DJ was always the forefront because he was the man who controlled the music.
Right.
He ended up being a producer. Whether he knew how to produce or not, he was showed how to produce because he was the leader.
Right.
After a while, the DJ was phased out because the record labels realized they could produce hip hop themselves and didn't need the DJ. All they needed was a voice.
So just spit.
And that's where shit changed.
It went downhill from there. Not downhill, but you know what I'm saying. Then the DJs feel like, damn, we got to be the artists. Like, so.
Yeah, it went downhill.
That's crazy. That is kind of true, though, when you think about it. The moment.
Because once the DJ was phased out, people got taken advantage of a lot quicker. So
basically, the moment that the MC grabbed the mic and said, throw your hands in the air. And when it was like, after that, the label was like, that's the person we want right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll even say after that, I'm being
funny, but I'm just saying like that. It came from somewhere.
Yeah. But it was when they realized they could produce records themselves and didn't need the DJ to produce it. Matter of fact, when they saw Rapper's Delight have as much success as it had without a DJ.
Right.
That's what it happened.
The craziest thing to me is the thing to me that's crazy about that is even though that's like one of the biggest records ever in hip hop, just knowing the backstory knowing the backstory on it, how people just didn't really like hip hop did not fuck with it. That
Rapper's Delight?
Yeah, because it was like it was mainstream.
Yeah. Right.
It's almost like now. Some shit come out as mainstream. Underground niggas is like,
it was mainstream. It wasn't from New York. It was pop. It wasn't underground.
That's crazy. But look what
it was manufactured.
It's almost like look what it did for hip hop. It did so much for hip hop as far as good and bad because I saw the unsung on that. Them contracts was so like nobody was getting bread. I was like, damn.
Right.
And still to this day, is that the group? Yeah. Like to this day, like I know a couple of the members died from the Sugar Hill Gang, but like they still touring and it's like it ain't even the members of the group or something like that. Like, man, that's fucked up. So I'm like, it did so much for hip hop in a good sense, but also it, in the bad sense, it was like, damn, contracts was just like out the whack back then.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good unsung episode too, though.
Right.
I either gotta download this book. It's not necessary to really get it as an audio book because I just think the pictures are so dope. I emailed you about it. You might probably already seen it. The Hip Hop Raised Me by the foreword is by Chuck D, but I think like a lot of the storylines are by DJ Simtex. I hope I ain't saying his name wrong. Anybody listening, correct me if I'm wrong. But DJ Simtex, and the foreword is by Chuck D. It's called Hip Hop Raised Me. It's like the book itself, like this big ass book, gray. It's a hardback cover. And I said hardcover, whatever. But when I saw it, it's like about a good 438 pages. But it's also like you can get it online too. Obviously, order it at Amazon. I need to get that book. I was going through the book like, man, like everything in there from like the beginning up until recent. Very dope book.
Wow.
I definitely recommend it. On that note, we covered a lot. I said about 30 minutes, like we went over. But
well, yeah, you like to talk, so you know that's how it goes.
You said it every episode. I don't know what you're trying to say. I run a podcast.
I'm trying to say that. I say that to say you like to talk.
I feel like you're saying that you're kind of laughing about it and like you talk too much. I don't know.
Hey, man, look.
I'll let you cook some this episode, man. You had some stuff to say. This is why I be saying you need to do the podcast more often. You be like, I don't like talking. I don't like to talk to people.
I
don't want them to hear my voice.
Hey. One of my mottos, and actually about 10 years ago, and I'm bringing it back, one of my mottos was, don't talk me to death. And I will be saying that a lot this year.
Damn.
This coming year.
Now, how am I have you on episodes if you saying shit like that, man?
Hey, man, look. If people want to hear what I got to say, they'll hear it. But
you know what it is? You fight crime on the low. Because your voice kind of sounds like you could be a Batman or something. And I think what it is, you don't really want people to recognize your voice. You know how Bruce Wayne and shit in the movies, his voice is all regular. But then he put on the mask, it's like, he's like,
right.
Listen,
you bleed.
Listen here. Where's the Joker? Like, nigga, what happened to your voice?
Right.
Like, do the Mags do that? Like, was it like that in the cartoons? Like Batman changed into the, I don't remember that in the older cartoons. Like Batman.
It wasn't.
Who thought of that? Like, let's make his voice change and get real sinister. Like,
yeah, that was some 2000 shit.
That's hilarious. I always thought that was funny. Like, that nigga voice be normal as hell. Then you put on the costume, listen here, Bane. Like, why do you sound like that? Bruce, we know this is you.
Yeah, they thought it struck fear in people's hearts. So.
I don't know. It just I would laugh if I was like, why you sound like that? You don't have to sound like that.
But I would neither confirm nor deny the allegations of me being a crime fighter, anti-hero. No, I'm not gonna.
You do something. You do something on the low along those lines. I already said you was a politician.
Hey man, look. Things happen. Things get done.
Whoa, you in the mafia?
that was dope, wasn't it?
Things happen, things get done. That's some mafia shit. I'm not even gonna blow your cover on that. On that note, leadingmelegendary.net is the website, at LABL Music on Instagram and Twitter. Leading Me Legendary on Facebook. Oh, with me, it's at nametag ALXNDR. You know how the hipster spell it. That's on Twitter. Nametag Alexander on Instagram and Facebook.
Fucking hipsters.
I had to spell it like that because the spelling was too long and Twitter wouldn't
allow me. You had to spell it like that, fucking hipster.
No. Because if that's the case, I would have spelled it A or at NA. No, I would have spelled it at NMTGALXNDR. That would have been full on hipster, but I tried.
Hey, I tweeted it before. I'm gonna tweet it again. Hipsters will never say that they're a hipster.
That's very true. That's very true.
See, yeah,
but I'm not though. I don't even dress like one. I dress like like it's still a cross between 2009 and recent. So I know I'm not a hipster.
Nah, that's policy.
You said the what?
I said deny. That's the best policy.
All right, I'm a hipster and you in the mafia. So where can they find you on social media?
Hell with social media. No, you can find me on Instagram at DJDDT1 or Instagram at Shot by DDT. That's good enough. You can't find me nowhere.
That's where it's popping at anyway, Instagram. So I mean other websites. So social media websites. But Instagram, get at us on there. So hey, if it needs, what did you say? If it happens, then it gets done. Something you said, I don't know.
I said things happen, things get done.
Yeah, some Batman Mafia shit. On that note, we out.